Hello everybody. Guess what? It's Friday again and we are here with another craft project. So glad that you joined me today, and I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day. And I am going to look down to my tablet so I can see who's come in. We have Marlene. Welcome in, Marlene. Good to see you. And Kathy Stadler. Good to see you too, honey. And Phyllis and Jennifer Reel. And I know that my Jennifer Toller is here because I have her in my ear right here. And we have Connie. Welcome, Connie. Oh, I'm so glad to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about today's project. It was something that I worked on. My picture that I took that y'all saw when it popped up does not do this card justice, because this is the actual card. And I think you can see that the picture that I had on there does not do this card justice. It's amazing how the flat links or flat pictures just does not do it justice at all. Hey Margie, welcome in. If I don't welcome you personally, it's because I don't see you. Jennifer has been sort of assigned that issue of welcoming everybody as they come in. So if I don't personally welcome you, it is definitely not an oversight. Let me tilt my computer up just a bit. It was felt like it was cutting my head off. It made me feel like I was short. So, and Kathy Kelly is here. Good morning. It's so good to see y'all. I am just thrilled to death that I have my faithful group that always seems like y'all come to welcome me in every time. Excuse my appearance today. I didn't take the time to fix myself up like I normally do, but y'all didn't come to see me. You came to see what I got going on down here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to flip that camera over, and by the magic of let's see, craft table. There we go. With the magic of this, we're going to transition over. And y'all know I always have, I'm going to reach up and see if I can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. PDF tutorial. Y'all always have this on my blog. Anytime I do a live, I need y'all to give me a couple hours so that I can make all the corrections, go in and get my links. It takes a little bit of work. It's not something that just happens. There's some background work that I have to do in order to make that. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Rial. I appreciate that. And let's see, who else is here? Did I miss Kathy? Okay, see what? Kathy's here also. I've got so many Kathys. I know Kathy asked me not to refer to her as Kathy Watt, but I have to, because now I have a Kathy Stadler, I have a Kathy Kelly, and me, Kathy Champion, and we have Kathy Watt. So with all of my different Kathys, no one knows who I'm talking to if I don't refer to a last name. So anyway, here's my PDF tutorial. I did not do a diagram for this. It's very straightforward. Oh, and I want y'all to know Bella is whining for her chicky stick. So I was prepared today. Jennifer asked me before I came on. She said, Mama, did you get Bella her chicky stick? And I said, yes, I've got them right here on the desk. There, Toby, get yours. So I've got them all straight now. And so anyway, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get busy with what we're going to do. I'm going to show y'all first the products that I'm going to use. Also, on the back of all of my PDFs now, that last page, I have my Amazon affiliate links. For any of the items I use that's not a Stampin' Up! Product, there's links on the back of here you can click on. They're also going to be in the description under this video after it ends and I get a chance to drop everything in. So I'm going to lay that over there because I don't need that right now. My screen is blurry. Maybe my camera lens needs cleaning. Okay, let's try this and hope I don't mess up anything. I'm going to take an alcohol wipe and I'm going to clean my camera lens to see if that's causing. Sometimes we don't think about cleaning the lens, but you know, every now and then a little bit of maintenance has to be done. So I'm going to come in and dry it off. Just bear with me and let's see if that's better. It might be a YouTube issue. I'm not sure because I'm not seeing a blurry end on my part. Is that better? Somebody have to let me know if that looks better. I'm not sure. My lights are on. It is a little overcast outside. We had terrible thunderstorms last night. Hey Randy, welcome in. And I got your message earlier about your order, and thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate it. But I couldn't respond because I was running late. I was last minute trying to throw things together. But anyway, we're all here and we got a project to make. This is the card we're going to be doing today. This one right here. Isn't that pretty? And it's just a flap card, and it opens like that. You can decorate on this side if you want to. You could put a strip of paper in and then one over it to kind of camouflage the workings, but that doesn't bother me. I mean, anybody that sees this card is going to know that you put a strip there. So I don't see the issue with that. But anyway, that's what we're going to be making. We're going to be giving away in the drawing that card and the one we're going to make today. I did make this one. This one is not perfect, but I just wanted you to see I actually used some retired paper on this one. Jennifer's saying it's just not really clear, and it might be the internet connection or it may be the weather. I'm not sure which. I don't know what to do to fix it. I did get a new tower, and I am getting a better connection than I was. They sent me a new gateway. So and I have it in here in the craft room. So I don't know what else to do. We're actually contemplating changing our network provider, but I don't know if that's going to help. And we've also wondered whether it was my computer, because my computer's a lot older. So we'll see. Hopefully it will get better. I'm looking at it on my end on my YouTube where I bring it up on my tablet, and it doesn't look. Let me show y'all what I'm seeing. This is my tablet where I view y'all, and I'm not getting anything that's looking pixely or anything. Oops. See, this is what I'm seeing. So this way, I do this so I can see the chat because I can't see it in the software. But I'm not getting any pixeliness or anything. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Marlene. It could be YouTube, because anytime that they're working on any of their issues that they might be having, it does cause us as creators to have some buffering and some problems. But hopefully, all we can do is hope that it gets better. We had bad storms last night, Marlene. In fact, when I woke up this morning, I contemplated canceling my live because I did not feel like getting in here and doing anything, and I thought I would just record one and put it up later, but I went ahead and pushed through. But I got hardly any sleep last night. It stormed on and off all night long. But anyway, let me show y'all what I'm using. If it doesn't get better, well, I am zoomed out quite a bit. That's zoomed in and that's zoomed out. I don't know. If I zoom out too far, y'all aren't going to be able to see what I do. And if I zoom, I don't know, is that any better? That's too far in. Let's see how that looks there. Maybe if I put my hands there to help. Sometimes when it's showing on white paper, it's not good. Let's move that paper and let's put the stamps and dies I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using, is that better? Let's see if this is better. Hey Vivian, welcome in. Let's see if that will be a little bit better with the stamps. Let the camera have a minute to focus. And I have a very expensive camcorder. I have a Sony very, very nice camcorder up here. Is that still blurry? Yeah, I'm thinking too, Connie, it might be YouTube, and there's nothing that I can do about issues on their end. But let me know if that, does that, yeah, still blurry? Well, I'll tell you, all right, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all want me just to end the live and, wow, it won't go to 720 like usual. I'll tell you what, let me, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take this live completely out and I'm going to try another one. If y'all want to do that, and just wait till you get the notification or you see the second one pop up. It'll be titled the same as this one, or maybe I'll even put take 2 or put a number 2. So, yeah, I know. Oh, you don't want me to end it. Kathy Kelly says don't end it. So y'all tell me. I'm going to go by the popular vote. Okay, everybody's saying keep going. We'll keep going, and if it gets so bad, y'all let Jennifer know, and then she'll let me know, and we'll stop, and we'll come back. All right, we're going to keep going. Everybody's saying let's go. All right, these are the stamp sets that I'm going to use, and I haven't put a sticker on that one. Y'all know blue stickers means that it's an annual catalog, and this is a newer stamp set that I've recently gotten. I love this one. This is actually a $1 million stamp set from a friend of mine. Her name is Rachel Tessman. I love Rachel. She's in Minnesota, and this is her $1 million. I believe this was her first $1 million stamp set. So we're going to use this, and this pairs with, she made her stamp set to pair with the bow punch. And I love this. This is what it looks like on the end, and that's what I use to make these cute little pieces, that sprigs that I've got out here. And I thought they worked really good with this card with the silver, and I'll show y'all how I did that. All right, let's go ahead first and get our card cut and our pieces done and our paper cut, and then we'll do some stamping and embossing, and then we'll move on from there. So the first thing we're going to need is a piece of black 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Now I have a piece already cut, but I'm going to show you, if you got newbies that might watch my video, they might not understand this, but this is a half a sheet cut on the 8.5 inch side. When I say the 8.5 inch side, I am going to recut it because that piece has gotten crumpled. We'll use this for our piece that we need. But you can see this is a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And what I want is, I want a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And you know that's going outside of what I normally do, because I like my cards usually cut on the 11 inch side, scored at 5 1/2. And that gives me that side fold card. But we're going to do this one a little bit different because it calls for it. So I'm going to put this in at 4 1/4. And I'm going to bring that cut blade down. And I'm making sure that I'm centered up down at the bottom as well as up here at the top. Making sure it's on the 4 1/4. And I'm just going to slice up. That gives me another piece for a card base. And then the one thing you want to do with this card, you want to score it before you do any of your cutting on it. So we're going to score it at 5 1/2. I'm going to use my score blade for this. So I'm going to give it a good score right there. Then I'm going to slide it back to 2 3/4. So that's the big line right before the 3, 2 3/4. And now we're going to cut that. So I'm going to use my cut blade, and I'm just going to come up and slice that off. So this is the beginning of our card. You can see how that's starting to come together. Now we're going to keep that piece because that piece is going to serve as our little piece that's going to go here. So you can see how it's going to come together. So I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I'm going to give this a good burnish. Like that. And like I said, this is going to go here. But we're going to decorate before we do that. So that's our card right there. So the next thing we're going to do is, I pulled some designer series paper. This is an overlooked pack in our catalog, or not in our catalog, on the online exclusives. And this is called Gilded, Naturally Gilded. And it comes in gold and very vanilla. It comes in silver and white, which is what I had used, and it comes in copper and white. And all of these are gorgeous. I mean, it's a stunning pack of paper. And you get 2 sheets. I believe it's 2 sheets of each design. And yeah, 2 sheets of each design. And it is just a beautiful pack of paper. And this would be beautiful done in the very vanilla with this vanilla and gold. But I wanted to do elegant. So I chose the silver and the black and the white. I thought those 3 colors paired really well together. The vanilla and the gold, I really would have to use vanilla throughout, and I wouldn't have that second color to give me a little bit of a differential. So that's the reason I chose this. All right, so on this piece of paper, we're going to need a piece to go here. And if your paper is like this and it has orientation, you're going to want to make sure you cut your mat for this one with it going vertical. And then on this piece, you're going to want it to go horizontal. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You want it to be this way, and the other one you want it to be this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off, I think I'm going to cut this way first. And this piece is 2 3/4, so I need it to be 2 1/2. 1/4 inch less, which will give us that 1/8 all the way around. So 2 1/2, lining it up right there, and slice that off. And then we need it to be, I think that's 4. Bear with me a minute, I'm just measuring. That's 4 1/4. So we want this to be 4. So I'm going to put it in at 4. All of the measurements, like I showed you earlier, will be on that PDF tutorial, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. And that piece is going to go right here. So we're just going to center that in on that piece. So we need another piece now, but remember what I told you, we need it going this way. So I'm going to put this in and cut it at 2 1/2 at this direction, because we need it like this. No, I'm sorry, 4 like this. See, I almost messed up. No, I didn't. It needs to be 2 this way. I'm right. 2 1/2. Bear with me. 2 1/2. And then we're going to cut it 4 this way. These 2 pieces are identical. So if you're using a designer series paper that doesn't have a direction, you don't have to pay attention to that. But anytime your paper has a direction, you want to make sure you're following that direction, so you don't have look like your trees are growing up one side and down the other. And I believe this piece needs to go, no, yeah, I don't think it matters up, down, but I think it does matter. You know, you wouldn't want, let me show you what I'm talking about. You wouldn't want this piece going like this and this piece going like this. I think that would look kind of silly. See what I mean? It looks much better if this is going up and down and the other one is going crossways like that. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Oh, we got somebody new in here. Hey, Midge, welcome in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal on this, because this specialty paper is kind of thin. It's thinner than what your cardstock would be. I don't want glue to be seeping from behind it or showing. So I am going to do this and this, and then I'm going to open this up. And you know what helps me? If I take a white piece of paper and put under it, if I'm working with black against my black mat just doesn't work. Hey Tina, welcome in. So I'm gonna put this down about like this, and once I get that like I want it, I'm gonna stick it down. That could go down a little bit more, but you know what, I'm going with it. I think it looks fine. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. And again, I'm working on this mat so that we don't, I can see exactly what I'm doing when I'm putting that on that black. And so this one I'm going to lay in like this, and then follow it all the way through. That one looks good. So now we can decide how we want to put this. What I want to do is I want to make sure it comes right to the bottom of the card like that. So I know that I can probably run 3 strips of my Stampin' Seal on this side of my my piece. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start all the way over on this side, and I'm going to run my Stampin' Seal down and down, and then kind of overlap that one just a little bit. And then I'm going to set this, I'm going to figure out about where my center is, where I've got about the same amount on both sides. And I'm not measuring, I'm just going to eyeball. And then I'm going to straighten it up something like this and tap it. When I feel good with that, looking like it's about the same, then I'm going to lay it down and give that a press so it seals it. And I'm going to look and make sure I don't have any adhesive showing out there, and I don't, so we're good. So now I need a piece of white to go inside because I want a white piece to go inside. And for this one, I need a piece that's 4 by 5 and 5 1/4. So 4 inches. Do I want to go? Yeah, I'm going to go this way. 4 inches by 5 1/4. And now we have our mat for the inside. I'm not going to put that in just yet because we're going to do some stamping. But that's going to go in about like that. And see how pretty that's going to look? I think it frames everything really, really well. Alright, I will put my trimmer away for right now. I want to bring out my dies, and I'm making my circle from the Stylish Shapes. Now, if you notice, I've got these already taped together. And the reason I did that is I left them taped. When I cut this one, I ended up having to cut it twice because I didn't get my framelit. See how I have a frame around that? I didn't get it even. There was more at the bottom and less at the top or side, or ever how you want to do it. Yeah, I'm seeing the pixeliness now. Hey Sherry, welcome in. So anyway, when I got these, when I paid more attention and made sure I was nice and even, so anytime you're going to cut a frame, you're going to tape your 2 dies together and try to get this as evenly spaced as possible before you cut it. So I'm going to cut it in white because I want a piece of that thick white. No, I want it black. I'm sorry. I need black. Almost messed up, y'all. So I'm going to take, maybe I can do one of these pieces. I'll save that. That's a bigger piece. So I'm going to put this one back in because this one we're not using. We are using just these 2. And I am going to cut, I'm going to go ahead and cut. I don't really need to cut both of these like this. I need to do my silver like that. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for right now. And let me find my cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to bring this up and grab my plates. And for this one, you're going to need your number 1 plate, your number 2 plate, which is your adapter plate. That's your thin adapter plate. There's your 1, 2, and then I have a dedicated number 3 for a cut plate, and then I have a number 3 cut plate for the cover plate. So I'm going to line those up inside like this and cover that up, and then I'm just going to, oops, I'm going to crank it through once I get everything lined up here. There we go. And just crank that through just like that. And I'm not going to go too far away with my machine because I'm going to need to use it again. So I'm going to set the plates over here. And I'm going to take this off. And there is our middle piece, but we got another frame. I'm going to hang on to that. I don't need the black frame. I want to do it in the silver. So I'm going to leave these together, and I'm going to pull out a piece of my silver paper. Now, what I do anytime I'm using any type of foil, I will put this on as close to the edge as I can get it, and then I'm going to take my big scissors, and there is a link for these scissors if you're interested in these. These are my Tim Holtz serrated shears. I love these things because they cut beautifully, and I like that longer blade for slicing things off like that. So now I'm going to put this back on here. I cut that off because this piece would have gotten wrinkled and got little, I guess it's the impression from the plate that's over top of it would have gotten an impression in this foil. So I didn't want that to happen. That's the reason I cut that piece off. That way I can use that piece for something else. So again, I'm going to bring my machine back up. And we're going to feed this through. And this is going to give me another gold middle, a gold circle. But I don't care about the circle. I'm going to stick it over in my items that I can, my little go-to pieces that I could use for another card, and save it. Because what only thing I'm wanting out of this is the frame. And let me show you what I'm talking about. When you pull this die back, those are the long ones, Jennifer, the 9.5 inch. Jennifer was asking me which scissors these are. There's 2 pair in there. This is the 9.5 inch blade. So you can see when you take that off, you got this beautiful little frame that's going to frame perfect over top of this. Actually, you know what? I cut the wrong one. I need to cut the next one up. Huh? Okay. Y'all bear with me. We'll get there. I need the larger black circle. So we're going to cut the larger black circle. I think that's right. This one. Just like that. My machine again. I really need a workstation where I can put my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to one side and have it there all the time. I did have that like that on my first setup, and then I changed things around, and I'm wanting to change my craft room now, and I want to bring my bedroom in here and put my craft room in my bedroom because it's a much bigger space. So once I convince my husband that that's a good idea, then we'll go with it. But right now I haven't convinced him. Alright, this I think is what we're gonna, yeah. So now that will fit onto that perfectly, and you don't have to, see what I mean? It will go right over top of that one. That's what I was wanting. Alright, so I'm gonna put these two back into my little case with my dies. Something like that. And get that out of the way. I think we're done with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So here's a trick, or what I like to do. That's why I wanted this a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to do my embossing on here before I put this on. But when I get ready to put this down, I'm going to put glue. Instead of trying to get glue here, I'm going to put glue on the black right around the edge and then sit this on it. And I'll show you how much easier it is to do it like that in just a minute. What I want to do next is I want to grab my embossing buddy. You know, I thought I was organized and I had everything here that I needed. I do. It's just covered up with all this other stuff. So bear with me. So I'm going to take my little embossing buddy, and I'm going to, because I'm going to do some heat embossing in silver embossing powder, I want to make sure I get all the static out of that. Don't worry about that excess powder being on there. It's not going to hurt a thing, and after you get it embossed, you can sweep that away with a little brush. So I got that done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my sentiment, and this one comes out of that Layering Leaves stamp set, and it says, "So happy to celebrate you." Both of these cards are going to be the same, and both of them are going to be birthday cards. Everybody needs birthday cards. So that's probably the card we make the most, is birthday. Birthday, thank you, and thinking of you. I always hate it when I have to do sympathy cards, you know, but it does happen. All right, I'm going to bring that right in the middle as best I can and stamp. And I'm going to give some good pressure on that. Yeah, y'all be sure to let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing for one of these cards. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring over my embossing powder. And I keep my embossing powder in a little container like this. It just makes it easier for me. Searching for pockets for adhesive bling. Sherry, give me a little bit more information of exactly what you're looking for. You're talking about just some little decorative pockets that you can send like with Happy Mail with bling in it for someone. Is that what you're asking? I think that's what you're asking, but I'm not sure. Hey, Carmina. I'm so glad you're doing good, Carmina. I know you'll be glad when all of this is over. Alright, I'm just going to use this brush and sweep off my mat because I do not want to get what am I trying to say? Embossing powder. I don't want to heat embossing powder onto my mat, so I make sure I sweep it before I do this, because with this glass mat I can actually emboss with this laying right here, which I love that. So I'm just going to hold it with my bone folder, and we're going to come in with the heat tool. The magic should start happening any minute. There we go. See, it should start changing from that dull gray to that beautiful sparkly. All right. I'm going to leave this right here because I'm going to need it again because we're going to emboss something else in just a minute. But now we can take and just do that little number and clean that powder off of there, and there's our little piece. Now let me show you what I'm talking about with the glue. With the fine tip bottle, whatever fine tip bottle you use, you can just start putting a little layer of glue right around that edge, just like that. Come around this side, and I'm going to hold it like that. And like this. And now we can sit this down directly on top, and you got time to pick that up and make sure that you got it all the way around even, because it will allow you to slide it just a little bit. So now we have our little silver framed circle with our sentiment on the inside, and I love that. Okay, we're going to sit that over with our card. So I'm kind of piling everything up here on my laptop, which is right in front of me, as I finish it. So now we're going to go to, I'll still need embossing powder because we're going to do one more thing. We're going to use our punch and our leaves, but I want to show you a trick. And you might have seen this before. It's not anything new out there. But we're going to use a scrap of, just a scrap of white cardstock. It doesn't make any difference what size it is. This is just a piece I pulled out of my scrap bin. I'm going to cut that off just a little bit. That piece can go back in there because I can probably use that for something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template for my punch. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it all the way over to this side, lining it up even with this edge, and all the way to the back. See how I got it all the way into the back? And then I'm going to punch this. Now I'm not going to use those pieces, but I wanted this, and I'll tell you why. We know that when you put this back in, you can line it up and it's going to punch perfect every time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out, if you have a stamp positioner, this will work so good for you. And I've got my stamps already mounted on here. And this is the We Are memory keepers that I showed y'all. We can't buy the Stamparatus anymore. So, like I told you in my video, I did some research. Anybody that doesn't have a stamp positioning tool, this is a very good option right here. So, I'm not saying you have to use this one, but I'm just saying that if you don't have one and you need one, I don't recommend anybody to buy a Misty, because these were the people that caused us not to be able to have our Stamparatus anymore. So I looked for an alternative product. I want to make sure that I'm putting this in the right way. And I think it was like, how did I do? Oh, it was like this. I have forgotten which way I did it. It was like that. So I want to make sure that my stamps are going in the same direction. Or I'll tell you what, we'll just put it on here and I'll show you how I did that. We'll put it on here like this. And see how it's giving me a template? So now I can take my stamps and I can line them up inside this little place where it's been punched. See how well I can line those up in there? So I know I'm going to get perfect positioning for punching these out by doing it like this. Now I want to stamp on that black piece of paper with some Versamark ink because I want these to be silver. So they're in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to pick them up just like that. I'm going to put my piece of black paper back up into this corner, and I know I'm positioned well. So I'm going to put that there and that there. And before I stamp, I'm going to use my little embossing buddy again. The Stampin' Up! Does carry the embossing buddy. It comes in the essential toolkit, and it is the embossing powder, the tweezers, a little brush, and the tray that you can dump your embossing powder back in. I don't use the tray even though I have it, because I keep my embossing powder in those little, see how that's wanting to pop up? So I'm going to put this down right here just to kind of hold it. So now I can come back in and I can go ahead and stamp those. So let's put some Versamark ink on this. Let's move this over here. Well, I just don't have enough room on my desk. Alright, Versamark ink. That's this one right here. And now I'm going to ink this up really well. And then I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down. Now the good thing about a stamp positioning tool, oh, you know what, I don't need this because we already positioned them where we needed them. So now all I have to do is just stamp this down, and when I take this to my punch, I should be able to punch it with no problem. Oh, and that looks really good. I don't even think we need to do it twice. So I'm going to lay those over there. Let's move this out of my way and grab my silver embossing powder again. And then we're going to put this embossing powder all over that. And I like to do it twice just to make sure that I got... Oh, Jen, I didn't put the embossing powder in my list of supplies. I just remembered, but that's okay. I'll get it later. It's the metallic set, which this comes with 3 bottles. The metallic is gold, silver, and bronze, and it's really good embossing powder. I love it. And I don't know if y'all like to emboss as much as I do, but I love embossing. So now we got, well, we need to heat set that before we punch it. That's one thing. Don't touch this until you get a heat set, because you will have a mess. It will get off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set this. So bear with the noise. This won't take as long because the gun's already a little bit hot. I am going to go from behind Try to get the warp out of my paper. And there comes the magic. Alright, so I think we're done with that now. I'm going to stick that back up here where it belongs so that it's out of my way. So now we can take our punch in because that's pretty well set. I'm gonna fan it just for a little bit to cool it off because you don't want to press against it or do anything until it actually gets the heat off of it a little bit. And what that gun does, it melts that embossing powder and it gives you that beautiful image that's raised up, and it just feels really good. I'm going to use my brush to just brush this off. Remind me, Jennifer, to put this brush in my Amazon affiliates because that thing is so handy to have, especially if you do embossing or if you deal with glitter or whatever. So once you slide this in, if you slide it all the way to the back and it's lined up even with this edge, just like that, you can pretty much punch this out just like that. Oop, that little piece was stuck to my arm. And there's our pieces. Isn't that a neat way of doing that so you can get your pieces out? And I'm going to put this back over here. Again, I'm trying to put things back as I use them so I don't have so much clutter on my desk. All right, I'm going to set that back over here, and I'll clean those stamps after the live. And so now what I want to do is I want to, you know what, I need that punch again. I'm going to punch just some black pieces too. Should have thought about that while I had it out. That's okay. It was right behind me. So I'm going to go in this way and punch two. And I think I'll go this way and punch two more. Like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take this little circle back over, and you can use glue or Stampin' Seal or whatever you want to use, but what I want to do is I want to build my little collage of greenery. And I think that's going to go like that, maybe this one like that. We can do another little one here. And you see how I'm arranging them? You can use your finger to hold them down, or if you want to, what I did with my first one is I just put a little piece of Stampin' Seal. You could use tear and tape, but just a little piece of adhesive right there. And then you've got some adhesive where as you layer them, I think I want this one first, they're going to stay. That's the wonderful thing about Stampin' Seal. It's so forgiving, and it's so useful for things like this. You can use that for placing your ribbon or whatever, and I love it. So I'm going to put, I want this one to be right about here, and then maybe this larger one coming in about like that. And then we got a couple of these little ones that we can have just sticking across the edge of the side, just to kind of fill in. But that's how I did that little spray. So we got a little sticky there, but that's okay. I want to pop this up on dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and I'm not going to be shy with them. I'm going to come over top of that Stampin' Seal and put a couple just to hold that in place. And then I'm going to put some all around. And because this piece is going to get the wear and tear of it flapping up and down, I'm going to be generous with my dimensionals. I'm going to put a few on here to make sure that this stays in place. So to make this go a little bit faster, I'm going to get take your pick tool and just pull these off quickly. Like that. And I think I got them all off. They're shiny when they're all revealed. So let's bring our card back out. So I want this to be sitting so that my sentiment is straight up and down, but I want my spray to not go off of the card. If it goes off of the card, I might have should have held it here before I did that. But if we come down just a little bit, I think we'll be good. And set that down just like that. And then I used my little silver twine, and this comes in a combo pack with 2 rolls, and it's called the Simply Elegant trim, and it comes in a little pack with both silver and gold, which is so neat. I love this stuff. I'm going to do my little finger bow. Y'all see me do my finger bows over and over and over. That's what I did with the one I put on there, and I thought it turned out really cute. So here goes my finger bow. It's going to go over the index, under the middle, over the index, over and then under and over and under and over and under. No, I think that's good right there. So I'm going to pull a piece out about yay long. You want your tail to be long enough so that you can have enough to feed through. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed this through. Oops. That little V right there. Get back over that finger. Yeah, maybe we want to go that way. And then feed that down through that middle finger, between the 2 fingers, I should say. And this doesn't hold onto your fingers like the ribbon does, but it still will work. Now, hang on. Okay. I'm going to try to hold that with that finger so it doesn't come apart. Now you'll feed that down through, grab it on this side. You know, I didn't have this difficulty doing it earlier, only when you're on camera. Okay, there's the end of that. So I'm going to pull that through like that, and then you want to bring it back through this loop. See the loop that comes up right there? Feed that back through that loop, just like that. And then that's going to make your knot. That didn't work. I think it came off the other finger. Let's start over. Let's start over. All right, we're gonna come like this, 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 like this. Then we're gonna string that through. Sorry, I used my mouth to pull that through because I needed another hand. Now that goes back through that one, and then you're gonna rock it. See, it came off of this finger, and that's why it didn't knot. So then you're gonna just rock that piece back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then when you slide it off of your fingers, you're gonna have a nice loopy little bow. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna straighten my loops and kind of spread them out. And this is almost like a little bit of a wire ribbon. So it's very, very easy to work with. And look at that pretty little loopy bow. Yes, Bella is snoring up a storm. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that this is blurry. I wish, oh my goodness, it really, it does me no good for this to be blurry, because it is counteractive into what I'm trying to do, and that's teach y'all how to do something. So I'm going to take a glue dot and put that right there. So trusty little glue dots, and I'm going to actually take it off with my, take your pick tool, and I'm going to roll it into a little ball, and I'm going to stick it right here onto that that silver frame. And then I'm going to spread these out again, and then tack that into that glue dot right like that. And there is our little card. The only thing we got to do now is stamp our happy birthday inside. And I've got this one right here, and I love this big happy birthday, and it will go across that beautifully. So we're going to stamp that in the VersaFine Onyx Black because I like this for sentiments. Y'all know I've said this over and over. So I'm going to line that up about like that. Oops. Well, no, Toby, he just heard a tractor. A tractor just went down my road. I live in a subdivision, y'all. A John Deere tractor just went down my road. I'm sure they were doing some type of landscaping back there somewhere. So anyway, it's all good. All right, here's my block. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. I'm going to turn it over and take the ink to the stamp because this is a good size stamp. And I'm going to take this right about here. I'm going to steady myself because I feel a little shaky this morning for some reason. I should say this afternoon because I'm East Coast and it is definitely afternoon. And there is our happy birthday. Isn't that beautiful? Let me cover up my ink so I don't make a mess, because I'm determined, if there's an ink pad open, I'm determined to get my hand in it for sure. So we'll put this in right about here. So I think I'm just going to use glue for it because I got Stampin' Seal right here too, but this is cardstock, so it usually holds up to the glue pretty well. And you can see, the reason I wanted to bring this card to y'all today, this card can be changed up and done in so many different ways. Just by using that little piece that you cut off of that main piece of the cardstock, you could cut 2 circles out of it and put the circles together across here. You could use a die. You could do, hey Nancy, I know they say it's very blurry and there's nothing I can do on my end. I think it's a YouTube issue. At least I hope it is. I may have to redo this video as a recorded video so that y'all can see, because this is such a beautiful card. I hate for no one to be able to see what I did, but this is what our card ended up being. I hope y'all love it. And like I said, I got 2 of these to give away. They both look a little different because I think I did my spray out a little bit more on this one, and this one's not quite as much. But this was more of like a prototype, and this was like a second go round. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do our drawing. And again, I do apologize for the blurriness. I am so sorry. So whoever draws first can take 1 or 2, and then the second person will get the one that's left over. So whenever Jennifer is ready. Yeah, thank you. Hey Nancy, do you want to be in the drawing for one of these cards? Just let Jennifer know yes or no if you do. Thank you, Marlene and Kathy. Thank y'all so much. So hopefully Nancy will let us know in just a minute. Oh, Randy said she doesn't hear Toby or Bella. Well, Bella stopped snoring as soon as I said something, but she's laying right here by right to the left of me in my desk. So, Nancy, let us know if you want to be in the drawing. Just say yes or no, and Jennifer will know. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the stamp while we're waiting, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Scrub, and I'm just going to put a little water on it. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can clean your stamps with just water on your Stampin' Scrub too. So I'm just going to give that a little clean. Like that, and then dry it over here on the other side, and nice and clean stamp. Nancy, Are you still here? If you are, please let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing. If not, we'll just move on. Okay. Well, if we might just put her in anyway, and then if she wins the card and decides she doesn't want it, we'll just draw somebody else. Go ahead and put her in, and we'll go from there. All right, we're putting you in anyway, Nancy. Nancy makes beautiful cards. She sends me cards ever so often, and I always think they're so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, Jennifer's ready to do the drawing, so let's go. The first winner is Kathy D. I didn't see a Kathy D. Okay, we got a Kathy D. Okay, so now we got a Kathy Kelly. Oh, Kathy D. Oh, great. Okay. Kathy D, I do not have your mailing address, so if you would please email me your full name and your mailing address, I will get whichever card you choose. You can choose 1 or 2. All right, we're waiting a few minutes. Congratulations to Kathy D. Make sure you email me your address. You'll take 2. Okay, she wants this one. Make sure you email me your address. Jennifer, if you'll pop my email address in, or you can get it below the video, or on my blog. There's all kinds of places to find my email. But email me, and it is Kathy's Random Act of Crafting. Of Stamping at gmail.com. So I'm going to put Kathy D on this one, and that leaves our first card for the next winner, who is Vivian M. All right, and I got your address, so I don't need yours. So this one is your card, and I'll get those out. If my mail hasn't run today, I'll get them out in the mail today. Oh, you're welcome, Kathy. Be sure to email me now, because without your address, I can't get this card out to you. I do like to try to get them out the same day, or at least no later than the next day. So I did check the email. I checked the tracking on the packages I sent out last week, and both are supposed to be delivered today. So for Jennifer Riel and Kathy Kelly, you should have your package. And I did put a do not bend, fold, or crush on the front of it. So hopefully it will not come all crushed up. If it does, please accept my apology. I'm so sorry. All right, congratulations to both of our winners. Let me flip back over just for a minute so I can talk to y'all. And just me. All right, there we go. Yay! We have finished yet another live. How did I do? Not too bad, right about an hour. And that's what I like to do. I like to try to keep my lives to an hour if at all possible. So congratulations to both Kathy D and Vivian M. Thank y'all so much. Thank everybody for tuning in today and being a part of my little crafty family. You know I love you guys so much, and y'all mean the world to me, and I could do this without you, but it wouldn't be the same. If you have no one to watch, why do it? So y'all make what I do such a pleasure, because you appreciate and you show me love all the time, and I so appreciate everything that everyone does. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your Friday, and stay safe from the storms if you're in the storm paths. Oh, okay, Kathy, about 3 o'clock. So be sure to check your mail, because it's supposed to be in there. And you too, Jennifer Riel. Yours is supposed to be there too. Love you too, Margie. I love y'all all so much. Y'all are just such a wonderful group, and I could not be happier to have y'all here with me and to view my my work that I do. And you know what? We're almost to 3,000 subscribers. Can y'all believe that? Do some of y'all that's been with me from the get-go remember when I finally reached 1,000 so I could go live? It seems like that was ages ago, but really it wasn't. It has gone fast. So again, I couldn't do this without y'all. Please give me a thumbs up on any and all of my videos. Leave me a comment. These things go a long ways with the algorithms, and if you see any of the products that I use that aren't Stampin' Up, you can click my affiliate links in the bottom. It will take you to Amazon store where you can pick those up, and most of the time they are a better price on Amazon than they are anywhere else. So, and it's free shipping if you're Prime. So God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Mwah. Bye.